And finally, let us try to pay attention to the most important aspects of the lecture. Stylistics, namely linguostylistics, is a branch of general linguistics which deals mainly with the following interdependent tasks: the investigation of the inventory of special language media which secure the desirable effect of the utterance, and certain types of texts, certain types of discourse, which due to the choice and arrangement of language means are distinguished by the pragmatic aspect of the communication. The two objectives of stylistics are clearly discernible as two separate fields of investigation. The types of texts that are distinguished by the pragmatic aspect of the communication are called functional styles of language. The special media of language which secure the desirable effect of the utterance are called stylistic devices and expressive means. In linguistics, there are different terms to denote particular means by which utterances are foregrounded. In other words, made more conspicuous, more effective, and therefore imparting some additional information. Expressive means and stylistic devices. So they are called expressive means, stylistic devices, tropes, figures of speech, and other names. All these terms are used indiscriminately. We use figures of speech in figurative language to add color and interest and to awaken the imagination. Figurative language is everywhere, from classical works like Shakespeare or the Bible to everyday speech and television commercials. It makes the reader or listener use their imagination and understand much more than the plain words. Figurative language is the opposite of literal language. Literal language means exactly what it says, and figurative language means something different too, and usually more than what it says on the surface. Stylistic devices and expressive means touch upon such general language problems as the aesthetic function of language, synonymous ways of rendering one and the same idea, emotional coloring in language, the individual manner of an author in making use of language, and a number of other issues. The difference between stylistic devices and expressive means is not large. They are closely connected with each other. The division of things into expressive means and stylistic devices is purely conventional, with the borders between them being somewhat shaky. Stylistic expressive means have a very strong effect. They can be logical and emotional, and they noticeably color the text. They reproduce the author's thoughts and feelings and make the reader to think and feel what the author wants him to think and feel. The expressive means of language are those phonetic means, morphological forms, means of word building, and lexical, phraseological, and syntactical forms, all of which function in the language for emotional or logical intensification of the utterance. These intensifying forms of the language have been fixed in grammars and dictionaries. Some of them are normalized, and good dictionaries label them as intensifiers. As a general direction of the studies connected with stylistic devices shows, the most powerful expressive means of any language are phonetic. Pitch, melody, stress, pause, drawling out certain syllables, whispering, a sing-song manner of speech, and other ways of using the voice are more effective than any other means in intensifying the utterance emotionally or logically. Morphological expressive means or stylistic morphology. Pronouns, so the use of we when speaking to a child, or we in scientific style. Use of I and me as predicatives, so it is I, it is me. The verbs, the use of the present indefinite instead of the past indefinite, which is called historical present. The use of shall in the second and third person may be also regarded as an expressive means. And word building means certain productive affixes. Lexical level, so words with emotive meaning, interjections, poetic words, archaic words, slang, vulgar words, etc. Phonetic stylistic devices. Onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is a combination of speech sounds which aims at imitating sounds produced in nature, wind, sea, thunder, etc., by things, machines or tools, by people, singing, laughter, and animals. There are two varieties of onomatopoeia, direct and indirect. Direct onomatopoeia is contained in words that imitate natural sounds as ding-dong, burr, bang, cuckoo. These words have different degrees of imitative quality. Indirect onomatopoeia demands some mention of what makes the sound, as rustling of curtains in the following line, and the silken, scent, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain. Alliteration. Alliteration is a phonetic stylistic device which aims at imparting a melodic effect to the utterance. The essence of this device lies in the repetition of similar sounds, in particular consonant sounds, in close succession, particularly at the beginning of successive words. Doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. Rhyme. Rhyme is a repetition of identical or similar terminal sound combination of words. Rhyming words are generally placed at a regular distance from each other. Rhythm. The most general definition of rhythm may be expressed as follows. Rhythm is a flow, movement, procedure, characterized by basically regular recurrence of elements or features as beat or accent, in alternation with opposite or different elements of features. Rhythm is periodicity, which requires specification to the type of periodicity. And lexical stylistic devices. Lexical stylistic device is such type of denoting phenomena that serves to create additional expressive, evaluative, subjective connotations. In fact, we deal with the intended substitution results in a stylistic device called also a trope. Lexical expressive meanings in which a word or word combination is used figuratively are also called tropes. And here we have Galperin's classification of lexical stylistic devices. There are three groups. The interaction of different types of lexical meaning, dictionary and contextual, such as metaphor, metonymy, irony, primary and derivative, zeugma and pun, logical and emotive, epithet, oxymoron, logical and nominative, antonomasia, intensification of a feature such as simile, hyperbole, peculiar use of set expressions such as cliches, proverbs, and quotations.